So last time we got Vim into this nice dark background, nice color scheme, and we actually just installed some stuff like nerd tree. We configured Python and all of that. So it is all working fine. What I want to do this time is basically get it into a stage that we can actually just program on. So basically something like this where you can actually do some JavaScript coding, so to speak, and then you have like the completion system working as well. So let me just go in here. I could just go into somewhere here and say console dot, as you see, like you could just you get the completion in here, as well as if you actually just had a command, so it had a function or something. He says a function test, and if you call that, actually not this, probably something else. I'll just call it something, and then if I call the something method in here, function in here, then I could just basically go to that one, press by saying GD, by going definition, and you can say GR to go to where it is called from. And if I actually just call that from multiple places, I could say GR. It's going to show me this like nice preview. This is all using COC. And we could also, like, can save this one. We can we have our terminal working on the side as well, and we can say expect, let's say, just to show a failure. You could do that as well, and that's going to fail. So all of that basically. And I could also find my current file in here. So if I could just close this one, and you can say find the current file in there. So all of this, I think it is working really nicely now. And at the end of this video, you will be able to get your GVIM into a configuration that you can actually code in, like, pretty easily. So let's get to it. So the first thing I want to do is actually set some defaults, because last time we set up this whole dark configuration and all that. The nerd tree is working fine, but we haven't actually got it working properly. We need some shortcuts so that I can actually just open nerd tree, find my current file in nerd tree, all of that. Set some defaults in here as well. I haven't set it to the proper encodings that I want to set. And if I actually just put a space in here and a tab, you can see it is actually it's a pretty sizable tab. Like, I like to actually just put it to perhaps like 4 spaces, and I like the spaces to replace the tabs. And I don't want to actually just go into the conversation with the tabs or spaces are better, but it's just it's the way I like. I want to actually just configure it that way. So let's send some defaults. So here's what I'm going to do now. Let's just have some basics in here, basic defaults. I'll explain you while actually just do these things. First thing is I want to set the encoding. I want to set the encoding to UTF-8 because I'm actually just editing files between multiple platforms and all of that. It's actually just, it makes sense for me to do that. The other one is I want to set relative number. This is like, depending on whether you want to do that or not, I can actually just show you what that is. I think I showed that to you last time. Relative number, that'll actually just start the numbers from the current line, both upwards and downwards. And the other one is, so we have set the clipboard in here as well. The important thing for the spaces and the tabs is basically I want to set expand tab. This would basically expand every tab into spaces, and I want to put tab stop to 4, so it'll be 4 spaces now, as well as a shift width. I don't know actually what this is, to be honest. You can try without putting this one, but this is something that I have in my configuration that I would like to. And I also okay, let's just source this file. I'm just going to source this file and put a tab here. As you can see, it's a spaces now. That's good. Another thing I want to do is, like, any time I type nerd tree here or whatever, like, if I press tab, it doesn't work because this is case sensitive. So I want to actually just set this to ignore case, so that I don't really care about cases actually. Another thing is I would like to set smart case as well. Now smart case is important. Now if I let me just save this file. If I start with nerd now and I press tab, now it is going to actually just, it's going to complete it whether I started that in simples or whatever. But smart cases work in a way that if you type a capital letter, then it's going to actually just smartly switch to case sensitivity. So let's say if I say nerd with like N and a simple E, it's basically not going to type nerd now because I said capital N simple E, which means I want it to be like case sensitive. That's pretty smart. And if I try to search something here, let's say I'm just trying to search for plug. You see it's going to search for plug, but it's not going to highlight them. Well, I like that to be highlighted. So I want to go back to there and edit. A way to go back to there and edit is basically press quotation and dot, and you will go to the last edited place. So that's just a small tip here as well. What I want to do is set to highlight the current search, like highlight search. Once I do that, if I search for plug now, you will see, oh, actually it does not highlight. There could be something that I'm missing in here. I'm just going to actually just hold on to that. I'll go back in here. One other thing I want to do is I want it to incrementally search rather than just waiting for me to just type. Like when I press G, I just want it to actually just go to the first one that it finds, and then I can keep typing. And that's more intuitive. So that is, I think it is incremental search, INC search. There you go. Yeah, let me just, oh, actually, sorry. So the HL search did not work because I didn't actually just reload my configuration. Now it works fine. So if I just search for plug now, there you go. It's pretty nice now. It's very easy for me to find. I can keep typing, and I can actually just narrow down my search as well. That's so cool. It'll be also nice maybe to get a cursor line, like wherever my current cursor is, may source that. See, now the cursor line is there. This is very much a preference. It doesn't actually just, probably doesn't have much of a benefit anyways. So that's so cool. One other thing I would actually just like to do while I'm in here is I don't want to actually just like to go to the last line here and then like just stay on the last line. Like when so oftentimes if I actually just wanted to edit this file, so let me go up in here, right? If I wanted to edit this line in here, I don't want to edit it right here because I don't have much of a context as to what is just after that. So I want to actually see a few more lines. What I end up doing is I go down a bit and then come back up just to edit this one, and that doesn't really sound that easy to work with. So what I want to do is I want to set kind of a scroll off, set scroll off, maybe set it to like, I don't know, like 10 lines or something. It's not going to give you any errors if you don't have 10 lines. Like if you have 10 lines, it's going to show it, but otherwise it won't. So if I just keep going down, all right, oh, let me source this one again. See, I want to scroll unless there are no more lines. So that's really good. Like then I have a full context as to where I'm editing this one on. So that's a very good configuration in here. There are a couple other things I want to actually just also set, because now if I actually just go to let's say if I actually just open another file in here, let's say I want to open a tree. Let's just open a tree, wrong way again, a tree toggle. I want to be able to actually just switch between these windows like pretty easily. So the way that I'm doing that right now is I can press Control W twice, then it'll just alternate between the panes that I have open. Another way to do this is like press Control W and then in the Vim way, press which direction I want to go to. So it is to the left hand side now if I want to go to the nerd tree. So I just press H. Actually it has to be capital H, so Control W capital H. Oh, it is Control W H, Control W H. Okay, yeah, it's not capital H, simple H. So I can press Control W L to go to this side. that is not that intuitive. It's just so many keys to press just to go between the panes. So what I would like to do is to, let me actually just close this one now. Have some navigation things in here. Let's just set some navigation shortcuts. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is map. I don't want that to be like show that command at the bottom or whatever. If I press Command K, I like it to basically go up, because K is basically for going up, right? Go to the pane upper to the current pane, right? So how I would do that, say I'll say Windows commands K and CR. Okay. Win command is actually Windows as in like Vim Windows. Okay, so it's basically splits. So I could do this for like all the others as well. If I want to do J, it has to be J here. If it is H, it's going to be H here, in no particular order basically. And L, it is going to be L. So if I source this one and if I open a tree now, I am able to just press Control L to go this side, Control H to go to this side, and I can actually just change these configurations. If I just take this down as well, then I can press up and down as well in the same way as well. So I think that configuration is pretty workable now. I think it is at the stage where I'm happy at. I might change some things on the way, but I think this is a very good starter configuration. Now I can actually just navigate between things, so that's good. While we are here, let's actually just configure one more thing. Now, in order to go to nerd tree, every time I need to type nerd tree, so I want to set some shortcuts to that as well. So I'll do that here. What I want to do is I want to map a normal command. Let's say leader. If I want to toggle the node tree, I'll say nt. I think that's not too bad. So I would say nerd. Oh, there you go. Nerd tree toggle. Enter. So if I source this file now, if I press command nt, there you go. I could just toggle that one. Didn't really work that well because my windows are too big or something. Let me open this one in here. That is good. So that works fine. Let me just going back here. One other thing is, let me just go back in here, actually close this one and press nt. You see it actually just opens node tree, but it doesn't really open it at the current file. Now that's another requirement that I have. I don't want that to happen like every time, but I want that to happen when I want it. So there's a command for this one actually. So I would rather name this nf nerd tree find, and it's called find. And now if I source this file and just press command F, it's going to, oh there you go. I pressed the wrong key. If I press command and F, it is basically going to nerd tree, and it's also going to locate the current file that I'm just editing. So I have some React code in here. So I'm just going to go navigate to that folder, open nerd tree, go to, let's assume I want to go to this file. There is no completion. If I was actually just doing any programming, I would like to actually just have some kind of a completion system going on as well. So this is what I want to do now, basically get a completion system working. So there are a couple of known ones. I was using uCompleteMe a while ago, but there's another one that seems to be more promising, and it also uses LSP, language server protocol. So I would rather love that, which is called coc.nv. if you go in here, it's pretty easy to install as well. And one of the good thing about it is actually the difference between uCompleteMe and COC is that uCompleteMe, installation of uCompleteMe is really hard. But if you go to COC, it's really easy to install as well, because it's just Vim. It's only Vim script. There's nothing else into it, and you can actually just configure it for like multiple programming languages and stuff. So let's see how to install this one. Shouldn't be that hard because we've got the plugin manager here. So I'm just going to get this one, and let's open our MRC. Go in here, and so let's paste this here. Looks good. And I'm going to source this file. I'm going to say plug install. Here that has been installed. There are a couple of things I want to actually just tell you before, like if you actually just run into any errors, right? Importantly, if I actually just open the terminal window here, you can do it. You can just say type comma term, and it'll actually just open the terminal. You need to have Node installed. You also need to have npm installed for COC to work after the installation. Now, installation, it just works fine, it's just cloning. But once you do the installation, what you need to do is you just need to install a TypeScript server or a JavaScript server or whatever, a language server, so that we can actually just work on those files. Now the good thing about JavaScript and TypeScript is basically the TypeScript server is good enough for us to work on both JavaScript and TypeScript. So let's see how to install that. Now that I have installed COC, I'm just going to close this one, and you could say COC install. There's a command called install. What you're going to do is you're going to install TS TypeScript server. So that's why TS server, and I would just install that, and that'll go on. As you can see, it is using Node.js in there. I think it is also using npm, so have to be very careful that you have them. And I don't think there's a strict version requirement or anything, so it should just work. If it did not work, make sure you just go to, let me open the terminal again. If you just go to the plugged folder here, you could just, if I get my directories in here, so you can see that coc.nvim is here. You can just delete it, and you can actually just reinstall it as well if you wanted to. But anyway, now I have installed that. Now I have also installed coc or the TypeScript server as well. So I could just type expect there you go, something's happening. That looks interesting. It doesn't happen like all the time. I think it will just happen when it is like it's just trying to actually just enumerate some stuff. It seems to happen actually just even the next time. Let's just go into a different thing. Maybe we need to restart Vim or whatever, but I'm just going to do a console dot. There you go, it works. Now in COC completion, one other thing to know is that you can press Control N to go down, Control K to Control P to go up. So next and previous, that's how it works. So you could just say you could also actually just type in here to actually just like filter the completion items. You could just press N and P so that you can actually just go in here and actually just navigate to them. Once you select something, what you need to do is basically, let me just get rid of this. What you could do is say error, and you could, I think you could just press enter, not press enter. I think it is tab. Let me see. think it is, yeah, you can just complete through that. I think that's how it works. It doesn't complete like the whole method signature or whatever, but you can just do this one. For COC, there are some configurations that you also need to do. So these configurations are very easy to find. I think we can customize them if you wanted to, but basically there's a whole set of configuration in here that you can actually just paste in there and it just works. I think there's just one configuration that is perhaps outdated that I found like last time. Me just go into my, oh, I need to save this one. Okay, let me just do that. Go in here and let's find COC. I'm just going to, like I did last time, I'm just going to paste it here. And let's select all of these that I pasted. This is not the ideal way to do this, I think, but anyway, let's just for the sake of it, let's do it. Whole lot of commands in here. I'll probably not need all of these. Yeah, probably we'll need to actually just tidy this up. So I'm just going to tab them out so that I know they are actually just configuration for COC. Let's source this file. Looks to be fine. Now if I actually just go in here, if I type a function, let's just do a const. I would say message. Here there's no string or anything. So if I just type, let's say test in here, I think I'm going to need the message. So if I press GD, now GD is the way to actually just go into the definition. So I could say GD. I could say GR in here and actually just go to wherever I'm calling it from. So those are all the shortcuts we have here. So if we say GR, see that's COC references, there's a GD, COC definitions, and GY, COC type definition, all of that. I think additionally, like if you just want to go to React, you could just do that as well. As you can see, like it goes into the node modules, and I can just find the references for that, and then that like a whole list of items come in here that you can actually just easily check them as well. So that's pretty cool. So that I think is a very small video this time. So part of the reason why I actually just wanted to talk about completion this time was basically there were a couple of questions about completion systems, and I do understand if you want to be doing programming on Vim, you definitely need a completion system. There's no way around it. So that's why I covered it. If you have any other questions as to any other sections you want me to cover, basically add a comment below, then I'll be actually just happy to go through it sometime. Thank you.